chant together, try to let your eyes follow the shapes of the Devanagari, even if you're not familiar or if you're even a beginner at it. Just see if you can let your eyes follow the shapes of the letters as we make the sounds. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhavet. Don't stress too much about that last line. Let's do it again. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. So even if you're feeling uncertain, maybe just the act of trying to scan the eyes along the page led to maybe a little bit of pattern recognition. Maybe you could sort of see a shape or two, or even some of the repeating shapes can help us start to recognize the patterns in language. And just as a reminder, when we were children learning whatever our primary language is, it probably felt very similar to the experience you just had, where you're used to hearing the words, you've heard those words before, you've heard those words in that order before, but then when you go to start reading, that's a whole other task, and it's kind of, you just have to kind of swim around in the soup for a little while and start to make sense of how certain patterns make up the sounds of the words that you're hearing. So, that's that. I just want to start off this video by saying that I am a student of Sanskrit. I'm not a scholar. I simply wanted to share with you some of what I've been learning in my Sanskrit studies and some of what I've been working on. But I by no means am an expert. And so if I misspeak or if I've got something slightly wrong or very wrong, that's my own mistake. Perhaps I've misunderstood something about what my teachers are teaching me, or perhaps I've delivered it, right? So just be aware of that. And of course, if you see something that seems wrong, just let me know. And I would love to discuss it and figure out how to correct my misunderstanding. So I've written out the individual words over here in the Devanagari. Don't worry, I'll write a little bit of Latin letters for you, even though I don't really love to do it. I'm really trying to, as much as possible, stay with the Devanagari shapes. But we're gonna do a little. Don't you worry. So the first word we have is Sarve. Now, unfortunately, my easel has cut off the top of my Sarve. So let's look over here one more time. Sarve. So we have the Sa, we have the Va, except that these two flags make it Sarve. There's a little bit of a complicated process for how that sound comes together, but don't worry about it for now. As you can see and hear, Sarve comes into play a lot in this mantra, and I would say that in some ways that is what the mantra is about. It's sort of the central theme. The repetition is there and the emphasis is there. So that is a very important word to us, right? So let's write Sarve. Sarve comes from the word sarva and becomes Sarve because it's the subject of the mantra. So Sarve, it means all, and it's the subject. So that's who we're talking about. Bhavantu. Oh, yes. We should love this word. We should know this word and love this word. Bhavantu. Right? Let's write it together. So we have bha, va, and then even if you're not familiar with this little cluster of squiggles, this is the first part of a na and this ta. So it becomes nta, a consonant combination. Nta, and then this little guy underneath, this little hook underneath, makes it ntu. Ntu. So that's where we get Bhavantu. And now you might recognize this word from other significant Jivamukti mantras important to Jivamukti. So Bhavantu, it means to be, but so Bhava means to be, and then unto, well, it's a little second. Unto is an ending, meaning, first of all, it's an imperative ending. So it's what gives us that feeling of may they be, may all be happy, may all, etc. Right? As Sharon says, like, because I said so. It's a wish for it to be so. It's a strong wish for it to be so. So that's the unto ending. So the endings, all right, don't get intimidated here. We're going to do something a little intense. This is the set of imperative endings. So Bhavantu comes from the root bhu. That's the verbal root, bhu. It means to be. And the verb that we're working with, so don't get confused, a root is different than the word, but it's a little bit complex and sort of magical and a little bit mysterious still to me how the root becomes the word, so you won't be able to rely on me for that explanation. But here we have bhava. So bhava means to be, and that's the verb that we're starting with. And you can see I've written bhava over and over again throughout this entire chart. Now, this is just for imperative endings. And in Sanskrit, we have first person, which is like I, me, mine, second person, which is you, and third person, which is he, she, they, it, right? And then we also have number of people. So like I is singular, we as in the two of us is dual, and then we all as in three of us or infinity of us. That's all the first person, single, dual, and plural. Then if we move to the second person, it's you in the singular, you too, or you either three or up to infinity, you all. And then third case is he, she, they, it's. So third person singular is may he be, may she be, may it be. Dual is may they two be. This gets very odd in English. And then third person plural is may three of them or more be. So may three be, or may infinity beings be. It's getting all very squirrely. So, so each ending is going to tell us what person and how many there are. Okay, it's all very important information. So let's go through this. So third person singular, Bhavantu. So that's may he be or may she be. Third person dual is Bhavatam, and that's may they two be. And then plural, third person plural is Bhavantu. So may they all be. Let's just run through the rest of the chart just so that you have it, even though we already clearly have our answer here. So second person singular is Bhava, which is, so may you be. Bhavatam, may you too be. And Bhavata, may you all be. If I'm talking to you all. And may you all be happy, by the way. Okay. And then first person, we have Bhavati. That's may I be. Bhavava. It's a tongue twister. Bhavava is may we both be. And then Bhavama. Bhavama, may we all be. Okay, so that's how we can then go back and understand the word Bhavantu as being may everyone, everywhere, may they all be whatever they're going to be. And you know what they're going to be? They're going to be Sukhina, if you ask me. So let's write this together. So Sukhina, another of Jivamukti's favorite words. Jivamukti community's favorite word, Sukhina, means happy. Sukhina. So may all beings everywhere be happy. And then again we have, start the next line, we have Sarve. Sarve, all. And then we have Santu. Santu. We notice here that we have the same sounds at the end. And this word comes from a different root. It comes from us as the root, but it also means to be. And so through the process of conjugating the verb, it becomes santu. So may all be again. And then here we have Niramaya. Oops. Ooh, long ah. So amaya. Make sure you get those long vowels in there. Amaya means sickness or illness. And then nir is a negation of that, so not sickness or illness. So Sarve Santu Niramaya means may all beings not have sickness. So when we translate that into English, we want to smooth it out and make it flow for our English-speaking minds, and just sort of make it poetic again, because this is like pure poetry that we're working with. So we want to make it like beautiful again. So that's where we might use the turn of phrase like, may none suffer from sickness, right? Because may everyone not have sickness is kind of choppy. So may none have sickness is a smoother way to say that. And that's why sometimes the translations, they have these little variations, because it's not easy to do that one-for-one chunking. It doesn't come out with the sort of like beauty and poetry that the sort of original intention of the mantra had, right? So then next we have Bhadrani. Bhadrani, just making sure I'm doing it right. Okay, Bhadrani. So third line, we have Sarve again. Bhadrani, which means, Bhadrani means good or prosperous or favorable or kind or gracious or excellent. So, Bhadrani, good or prosperous or favorable or excellent. We'll do that one for now, because we kind of know how it's going to end up. Okay, and then Pashyantu. Pashyantu. There's that ending again. There's that ending again. So we know we're wishing the infinity of being something. And Pashya. Pashya means to see. So, Sarve, may all, Bhadrani, good or favorable, Pashyantu, to see. So, may all see that which is good or favorable in others. Okay. Ma in this case, very important, extremely important to remember your vowels. So ma in this case means not. Be careful with that, because there are homonyms, there are similar sounds, there are other places where ma or ma come up where it doesn't mean that, so just be careful. Here it means not. Oh yes, and now we're getting into the soup of it all. So kashchid. Here again you have a pretty dense little compact consonant combination, which if you're reading along and you don't necessarily recognize it, it's okay. I've found that if I just kind of work it out from context, I can kind of make it make sense. But if you haven't seen a set of squiggles before, it's likely a consonant combination. And some of them come out looking kind of weird. I'm going to be honest. Some of them, it seems very obvious that this is like na and ta, because we recognize those shapes. But this one, it doesn't seem obvious to me at all. And so you either roll with it and work with it in context, or you go look it up on a consonant combination chart. Up to you. Kashchid means somebody, but since we have the not here, so not somebody means nobody. Not somebody together means nobody, or no one. Dukkha, very fascinating word to read and write, and to pronunciate. Dukkha. So we have du, Lots of aspirations there. Lots of breath, lots of expenditure of unnecessary energy. Dukkha. Dukkha means, it literally means bad space. I'm in a bad space. I'm in a bad head space. I'm in a bad space. But it means suffering. We know it in context. We take it to mean suffering. But it has something of like a bad space meaning. Yeah. And speaking of those aspirations, one of the things that I sort of like working with in this mantra is I feel like this mantra is a good mantra to work on aspirated versus unaspirated sounds and really trying to make those aspirations come out and the non-aspirated sounds come out nice and crisp and clear and differentiated from one another. So it can be a fun mantra to kind of work those differences in sound. So dukkha, bhavet, bhag. So bhag bhavet, bhavet. Yeah, that's right. Bhag bhavet. So may nobody be suffering in bad space, right? So may all be happy. May none suffer from sickness. May all look and see the good in others, and may nobody, ma kaschid, may nobody suffer. Let's chant one more time. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.